Hi, welcome back to 5 Minute Friday. I see companies wasting countless hours testing tiny tweaks that barely move the needle. A/B testing has become a little bit of a checkbox activity rather than a strategic tool. Today, I'm sharing my high impact only framework for deciding what's actually worth testing. First of all, the testing trap. Most companies test low impact elements like button colors or minor headline tweaks. This is something that might work if you have the traffic volume of a company like Amazon, but for most businesses, it doesn't really make sense to test these things. Resources within the company are limited, and the opportunity cost of each test is pretty high. And usually the volume of tests that are being performed is also not equal to the value of the insights that we get out of it. And I know that HubSpot and other platforms make it easy to test new things and do A/B testing, but these platforms don't really tell you what to test. The easier testing becomes technically, the more strategic we need to be about what we test. And that's exactly where my high impact framework comes into play. The first filter I like to use there is only testing elements with significant traffic and engagement. As a rule of thumb, you need a minimum sample size for statistical relevance. Some quick examples. Something that's worth testing is probably the homepage hero section, because this gets a lot of traffic for most websites. Something that might not be worth testing is some thank you page variations, because they tend to get a lower volume. An example within HubSpot would be testing emails going to 10,000 plus people and not to segment specific campaigns that have a smaller audience. Part 2 of the high impact framework is the conversion importance. So really try to focus on testing conversion points that are directly tied to revenue or key metrics, like the amount of leads, for example. A good formula here would be traffic times conversion rate times value equals impact. Some examples. A high impact example might be a lead to demo request page. A lower impact example would be the newsletter sign up form, because the value is obviously lower. Also try to focus the testing on bottlenecks in your funnel. A 5% improvement at a critical conversion point far outweighs a 50% improvement on a vanity metric. And then we get to part 3 of my high impact framework, which is the test hypothesis. I would urge you to not just randomly test things, but always start with a strong hypothesis. A good hypothesis structure would be based on observation/data. Changing a certain element will result in an outcome because, and then the rationale of it. The test should challenge fundamental assumptions about your audience. I'll give you an example. A strong test would be long form versus short form value proposition. A weak test would be if we try blue versus a slightly different tint of blue for the CTA. Testing different approaches and not just different shades of the same approach is really what makes a difference here. Now, to close this off and give you a challenge for after this video, we want to focus on volume plus conversion importance plus a strong hypothesis. That's a high impact test. Your challenge will be to look at your testing roadmap and apply this framework to your next tests. Then eliminate the bottom 50% of your planned tests and double down on the high impact ones. And after you've done that, share in the comments what high impact test revealed the most surprising insight for your business. I'm looking forward to reading your answers. See you next Friday. Bye.